And welcome back, everybody, to Jeopardy! One Piece Edition, baby!
Yay! Woo! Yeah! We're here again! Yeah!
I got some advice from Ken Jennings, the host of Real Jeopardy, on some tips and tricks how to handle hosting this illustrious show.
Wow, really?
And tonight I've got with me the one, the only host of One Piece with a Lime, Brendan.
Hey, wow, what an absolute fantastic preamble. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Like I said, I spoke a little while to Sir Jennings, and he gave me the scoop. And, we're going to see how this goes. I didn't come up with these questions. They were just handed to me. Somebody else did that work. He informed me that that was not part of my job. So I said, great, because I don't want to do that. Hosting is enough.
Okay, right.
So with that being said, Brendan, choose your category.
All right, sweet. I've been waiting all night for this. All right, so, I've been thinking it over, and of what's available to me, Christian, can I call you Christian, by the way?
By all means.
Yes, Christian, I think I want to choose annoying adventures that have very little plot to deal with the Straw Hats that I care about for 200.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So the clue is starring a double-colored clown-looking individual. This One Piece special features everyone's favorite pink-haired Kobe.
Features a pink-haired Kobe. Well, that can't be just anything. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's an episode of Luffy, Adventure on Hand Island, one of the least interesting and probably biggest waste of time specials I think I might have seen in my entire One Piece career.
That's right, everybody. Perfect.
Did I remember to answer in the form of a question?
I don't think so, but this is a very informal version of Jeopardy, so we play by our own rules here.
Fantastic. All right, well, honestly, I don't even think there's a reason to continue the game. I feel like I won with that answer alone, right?
Oh, you just you don't want to make more money at any point? You're satisfied with just a little $200? Like there's 4 other categories here worth of money.
You're right. You're right. Go ahead and give me my next question. Same topic. Useless plot elements for One Piece shorts that make me not care about the Straw Hat crew for 300.
They are still in normal Jeopardy, 2-4. We're in double Jeopardy already, for the record. Yeah, we start off big.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So then I'll take that for 400.
So we're at 400. Yeah. Starring with a villain protagonist named after an animal, Luffy adopts this wild hairstyle in order to fight him at the end of the arc.
What is the Long Ring Long Land arc?
Hey! Also known as the Foxy Games arc. You have guessed it right once again.
We'll be back for One Piece Jeopardy after these messages.
I walked myself right into that. I knew this was going to happen. I should have known this was going to happen.
You can't give me such power.
See, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to do my boy a favor. I'm just going to move us on from this so that we don't have to be stuck here trying to make up Jeopardy questions for the next 10, 15 minutes. And then you're like, no, dude, let's doing it. Let's doing this.
I got it all day. We can keep going. But
do you want to do another one? Let's do another one for the road.
Well, you seem like you want to move on, so we can just move on. I want you to.
No, let's do it again.
Oh, okay.
We now return to your program.
Christian, I would like to do for 600 useless plot lines from One Piece franchise that make me not give a single about any of the Straw Hats.
This confectionery-based arc.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, I'm moving on. Fuck you. Fucking garbage. This no longer became a meme on the thing that we watched. It's just a meme on my tastes. How dare you? How dare you assault me like this?
I wasn't even gonna clown Sanji. I was gonna make the question about Big Mom yelling wedding cake for 20 episodes.
Wedding cake? Yeah, sure. Oh, fuck. Can I do the summary? I'll do the summary so we can get into this.
Yeah, please. Let's do the summary.
Episode of Luffy, Adventure on Hand Island. During a battle with several marine warships, the Straw Hat Pirates are forced to make an emergency coup de burst in order to escape a sudden attack from above in the form of an immensely large cannonball. Crash landing on a nearby island, they decide to explore while Frankie repairs and moves the ship. Finding a town, they learn of its past and people while Luffy befriends a nearby wax sculptor. After being told that his apprentice has joined the Marines and subsequently been imprisoned due to knowing how to create incredibly solid wax, Luffy meets the others and goes out to find the apprentice. Leaving Sanji and Usopp to deal with the Marine troops, he eventually finds Regis trapped in a cage. Accidentally activating a complicated water trap, they are only saved by the timely intervention of Sanji. Escaping to a nearby reef, they decide to destroy Billick's weapons once and for all. So yeah, all right. Christian,
Hey, bud.
I feel like I've had strong thoughts at the opener for the last couple of weeks. I want to give you the floor. Give you the floor for a minute, because I still got thoughts, and they're very strong. But I want to take the layup on this one, I feel like.
That's fine. I think you gave up the goat a little bit with your intro.
Maybe. Possibly maybe.
But I can definitely talk a little bit about episode of Luffy here. It's a little different in style from the normal naming convention of these specials and movies and so on, because it's called episode of Luffy, which to this point we have gotten episode of insert thing here, and it's sort of a recap of a thing we already know about. This, on the other hand, takes place post time skip. I believe I read that it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like episode 5, the high 500s or whatever. So we're talking a pretty good bit after. We've met all these characters before. There's nothing here you haven't seen. And instead, it's just an extra story.
Yes.
This is just purely some nonsense, whatever, that they made for reasons. It's more like a normal One Piece movie. They call it episode of Luffy for whatever reason. I couldn't find any specific reason that this was made. My assumption would be that this was made because of some special occasion. On 2 different parts of this film, they introduce core backstory flashbacks that we've seen already a bunch of times for Luffy and Kobe. And really, like, the only reason they typically do this is because they're reminiscing on some milestone in the series. The last thing that we watched was a 15th anniversary of the show type of deal. And this just sort of exists. There was really no rhyme or reason. There was no story to loop in even haphazardly with the actual plot of the show.
No.
Like, we've got movies like Film Z or even Gold that mention offhandedly some of these characters, even if at the end of the day the movies are not canon. This is just nothing, It might as well have been a filler arc in the actual show, pretty much. That's how this shit plays out for the most part.
Yes.
It's not anything incredible. It was fairly boring for most of the time. The villain is extremely forgettable and non-inspiring in his motivations for anything. It's the same Marine shit we've seen 1,000 times. He just has a slightly different quirk than we've seen before. He has a puppet snake that he talks through sometimes. And he likes giant fuck-off cannons, and he names them after women. Otherwise, there's really nothing to this. We don't showcase cool abilities, really. We don't get a emotionally driven storyline. It just sort of exists. This feels like filler they would put in the show because they just needed to air time to catch up to the manga, or to let the manga get ahead, rather. I think there were movies that we've watched that I've disliked more than this just because they were actively bad. This was just kind of nothing.
Yeah.
Like something like Clockwork Tower, whatever that island was, that movie, that one was probably still worse than this. And they spent a long fucking time on some of these flashbacks, by the way. I'll mention it now because it's not really worth talking about.
Please do.
They do the whole Shanks and Luffy on his home island thing, like the whole thing. From start to finish, they just put the entire backstory in there. It's 15 minutes of this movie, maybe more, that is just reliving Luffy and Shanks's interaction. From Luffy cutting his eye open underneath to the bandits coming in and making a mockery of Shanks, but Shanks is fine. and then Shanks and his crew kick the shit out of him later, and we find out the Luffy ate the devil. The whole 9 yards is in this movie.
Yeah. I will say, the only major note that I have is that this special here does mark the first time that the anime had the cojones to have the Luffy giving himself the scar bit. Believe it or not, I don't even know if you realize this, because maybe it's just so synonymous because you've seen it enough extra times. The bit where Luffy gives himself a scar is in like chapter 1 of the manga, but it is completely removed from the original anime run of these episodes as they were being aired back in the day. If that means anything to you, when we meet Luffy, he just already has the scar. We never knew that he gave himself the scar technically. This is the first time in the anime actually.
Haven't we seen that? I feel like I've seen that.
You might have now that you're like at episode 800 and this came out during episode 570 something, but this retelling marks the first time that the anime actually covered that little detail. Not that it's really that relevant.
No.
It's just kind of like, moot. It's just one somewhat interesting thing.
It's just a thing. Yeah, I feel like I have seen that before, but I don't know. Who knows? Could have imagined it.
And I think this is supposed to be like the way that it ties in the episode of Luffy element is like, recapping these like 2 major milestones in Luffy's early part of his journey or whatever. And I'm, just finish your thought before I fucking get into it.
At the end of the day, I think I'm mostly this movie is nothing. Like we could have been totally fine not watching this movie at all. Essentially it was like a waste of time. I got nothing out of this movie. Like there's no part of this movie where I was like, really?
No.
Okay, actually that's maybe slightly disingenuous. They did start off a little strong by having the fashion show.
I was gonna say, I knew it was gonna be the fucking fashion show.
The fashion show was fun. I if they did that in every movie where they had wardrobe changes, I wouldn't be mad. That would be kind of cool, actually.
Honestly, facts. I'll give you that.
I say that now, but if that actually happened and I got to like the 5th or 6th one, then I don't know how I'd feel. But right now, because this is new,
give me fashion show.
I think I'd dig a fashion show every time they did wardrobe changes for movies. That would be pretty sick. But after that, the movie, nonsense. It sucks. There's no point.
Yikes. So, okay. Listeners, this is going to be tough. I ain't going to lie to you. You're going to have a rough one today. I had a rough one. I'm usually the fucking voice of reason amongst the haters. Guys, this is bad. Let's run through the list. All right, you got a villain with no redeemable qualities, no attractive qualities whatsoever. He's just annoying. They did the classic tried and true, ooh, it's the Marines, but they're not like questionably bad. They're just objectively bad people. And then the pirates have to come in and save them. You know what makes... This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening telling you what makes individual plot elements work and what made this one not. All right, let's take step number 1. A villain that you do not care about. You are not allowed to have a villain you do not care about unless you, in addition, have an aspect or a secondary villain that you might care about. An example where this works. In Water 7, where we have Spondum, who is just an objectively horrible fucking person with no redeemable qualities whatsoever, you have Lucci, which, love it or hate it, he's at least like, he's the wall, he's the impenetrable force, he's something else like the audience can get their teeth sinked into. He might not be like as annoying and like big baddie as Spondum is, but either way, you still have something else to gravitate towards. In Buggy. Buggy's another great example of a person you love to hate, but you know what his redeemable qualities are? Memes! And people love memes! I can sink my teeth into memes! This guy, what is this guy got? He's got like a fake fucking snake that he uses as a sock puppet or something? Alright, anyway. Villain does not work.
Huge disappointment, by the way, that the snake wasn't just an actual talking snake.
That's what I'm saying, brother. Villain, garbage. All right. Marines that are actually just the bad guys. All right. When does this work? Well, the Marines are always the bad guys. So you, as a story writer, get to play with that flexibility because your protagonists are pirates. They will always be the quote-unquote de facto bad guy in the eyes of everyone around you. You don't have to make the Marines so easily zero redeemable qualities. You could get creative. You could change it up a little bit. You know what made an arc like G8 work? Is that Jonathan, the captain or the Commodore, I don't know what his rank was at the time, he was just kind of like a really solid guy. But what was he obviously like the villain of the arc? Well, he was the antagonist for sure. He wasn't a bad guy, but we still knew we had to quote unquote best the Marines in that arc, but we didn't need him to be a super bad guy to make that happen. He was just like a guy trying to do his job and happened to be a Marine. Meanwhile, we're always going to root for the Straws who are pirates. You don't need to have this black and white shit, guys. All right, anyway, that's why that didn't work here. I'm going to keep going down the list. Thing number 3 that I don't like, all of these side characters, absolutely boring. In the dad and the son relationship, they tried to make something sort of redeemable. You got the dad who's, he's just like a craftsman of wax. And, he's like, oh, I wanted my son to follow in my footsteps. But, we just never saw it. They never had like a moment where I felt like their conflict made any sense whatsoever. I could never root for their relationship because I didn't know why their relationship was estranged in the first place. We just sort of meet them both independently when Regis, the son or whatever, is a child. They have a decent relationship. And then in the present, they have a bad relationship. And at the very end, when we see the reason, the quote unquote reason they don't see eye to eye, it's because the dad was really buddy-buddy with most pirates that came by. And the son was like, but pirates are bad. I can't be friends with pirates. And it's like, brother, do you have any catalyst whatsoever? Do you have your own thoughts that go beyond, like, just deciding that what your dad is like is bad or that what you're saying makes more sense? I don't know. There was no good relationship building amongst the only 2 through lines at all. And then Kobe's in this for some reason, which he doesn't do it. He doesn't fucking do anything. He only served as a good reason to lay up the Kizaru bit at the very end. Because he's like, Admiral Kizaru, how are you doing? Like, so for those keeping track at home, this is like the only special that I sort of know by name that I am like complete, like I had no idea what it was before this. In fact, I think I said last week, I thought that it was just like a recap of Luffy. I had no idea it was its own side adventure until today. And also, fun fact, it's one of the few specials that have not been dubbed by Funimation. Long story short, I will not be championing getting episode of Luffy Adventure on Hand Island dubbed at any foreseeable future because my God, what a fucking waste of their time this show would be. And I feel bad because I love when the guy who does Kobe shows up every now and again because he does a great job. Yeah, this was not good. This wasn't even like indifferent bad. This is just bad. I had a bad time. This is literally the poster child for everything that everyone says is wrong with One Piece personified.
That is scathing. That's a harsh review,
yep,
but not entirely undeserved.
This is like a 2 out of 10. I'm so sorry. And you know what? I think we need to say it more. Every so often when they hit an L, we need to be honest about it. L's are okay. When the rest of the series, for the most part, in my opinion, is a W, they're allowed to have an L from time to time, but let's call a spade, because this was not it, Chief.
No, this was not one of the highlights of the show by any means.
I wanted to enjoy it more, because I agree. I really liked the fashion show at the beginning. That had a great start. I really liked the Kizaru bit at the end. That one was funny. Laying up the Kizaru wax figure bit was honestly probably the second good thing about this movie.
Yeah, really bookended this film, huh?
Really, really bookended this film. I don't even know what else there is to say. Guys, like, listen, I'll tell you the entire movie in 5 minutes, and it'll save you an hour and 40. So we meet the Straws. They're vibing. We meet bad villain guy number 7. He has a big fuck off cannon, tries to kill the Straws. Straws get away with, oh, you guessed it, coup de burst. Who would have guessed? Land on a random island. They choose to go to the Marine base because reasons. Shoehorned B plot here. Proceed to fuck around on the base, go back home. Now Marine guy is even meaner than he was a second ago, starts attacking the island they escaped to. They go back to Marine base and beat Guy and his cannon. That was it. That's it. That's all that happened. We did it. I can tell you this plot line, there's nothing in it that's unique or thought-provoking.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to be rabid about how much I dislike my time this evening. My fault. I don't want to be that guy. I don't need to be that guy. Zen.
Yeah.
Zen.
Rein in.
Not everything needs to be perfect. But man, I feel really bad for anybody that wasted their time animating this. I really do.
I'm looking at the notes on the wiki page for this movie too, and apparently it also marks the official appearance of Kobe and Helmeppo's post-time skips looks.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be another thing I said. This came out simultaneous to Film Z, so technically this beats Film Z as the original debut of post-time skip Kobe and Helmeppo, which is
Complete garbage. Fucking sneak this pile of trash in underneath
yeah.
fucking Film Z.
Film Z, way fucking better. Way better.
Get out of here.
What the fuck? I'm honestly convinced that this had to be a tax write-off or something. Like that's the only way I can like fathom that this was made. And nobody in like the drawing room was like, guys, I think we made garbage. They're all like, don't worry, dude, it's a tax write-off. It doesn't need to be perfect. The kids will love it. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I love the idea that this movie was purely used to launder some money or something. Like they could have gone about it the normal way, like by putting it through a laundry business or a mattress firm on the corner that nobody knows how it exists for the last 30 years. They never see anybody go inside of it. They were like, you know what? We're an animation studio. Let's just make a shitty movie and pay our workers, quote unquote, to make it and animate it.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing that was mildly amusing comes at the very, very end of the movie when the Straw Hats remember that they left Zoro on the island.
No! Don't steal my quote, brother!
Get fucked, nerd.
How dare you? After all that, I was like, oh man, I actually managed to get at least one quote. It's a single word long.
Hey, just Zoro going like, hey, wait a minute, you fucks.
Hey.
Just staring blankly out into the abyss and going, hey, what? Be more worried.
What a way to end it. Now that's a way to bookend this fucking special. This something that we watched this evening.
This pile of nothing. Yeah, I mean they try and really rope you in with some of the aspects of this by the thing you're supposed to be rooting for the most here is Diego, who is this older wax figure creator gentleman, which
wax figure dad guy.
Yeah, wax figure dad got grandpa dad guy. Which, to be fair, the little bit where we first meet him and he takes Luffy down into his workshop and you see all the wax figures. It's like a little fun, but I'm not that invested. You know, this guy is just, he loves pirates. He's modeled wax figures after every pirate that he's ever met. And so
which Cricket was there, by the way. This motherfucker's met Cricket.
I know. This motherfucker's met Mont Blanc Cricket.
The Mont Blanc Cricket.
I thought that was the funniest. That was the funniest one out of any of them. He's met young Zeph. He's met most of Whitebeard's crew and his captains and so on, his subordinates, higher up subordinates. And there's a bunch of...
Yeah, Squard's in the back.
Squard's there too, yeah. There's a ton of them in there that you just sort of... Ace is there, and Shanks and a couple of his crew are there. Lucky Roo, one or two others maybe. And it's a funny little thing. But then it rolls right into the fucking Luffy Shanks backstory because he sees the Shanks figure, and I'm like, oh my god, stop.
Well, here we go again.
And it just kept going. They started at the very beginning, and I was like, oh, we just gonna like montage our way through it. Nope.
No.
Strap in, because you're here for the whole fucking episode, an episode's worth of flashback.
Yeah. You sure were. Honestly, can I tell that was honestly my favorite part of this. I'd rather just sit there and watch flashbacks than watch whatever the hell else was going on my screen.
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough bargain, you know, thing I've already seen 100 times already, or boring ass new stuff. I don't know.
I listen, man.
Maybe better the devil I know than the one I don't, I guess, is the way this works out. But it just is. It was tough. You know, I obviously. I skipped my way through the Luffy backstory at a certain point. Now I get a couple minutes in, I realize that they're just going to go through the whole thing. Boop, 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 boop. 20 minutes later, I'm at back in the movie again, whatever.
Yeah. As you should.
Same thing with Kobe. Like there's no reason to watch all that again. I know how this goes. I like Kobe. I don't need to be reminded. But there's just like the generic villain. He's just an asshole. He's terrorizing the nearby villages with his giant fuck off cannon. At first I'm thinking to myself, the giant cannon appears, and I'm wondering if the guy from the 3D2Y movie Burndy World is here and making his appearance again somehow, making the cannonball big.
It is funny when you think about it. We watched 2 specials back to back that feature a giant fuck off cannon.
Yeah, strange.
That was totally unplanned.
And like, what a weird thread for there to be in the first place.
Yeah, they love their giant fuck off cannons in One Piece Special Land.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had a nickel for every time I watched a movie with a giant fuck off cannon, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot.
But it's weird that it happened twice in a row.
Thank you. Oh, man. Christian, I'm going to be so fucking for real with you and with the audience. I got nothing to say other than I think this is bad, and I hope I never watch it again. That's where I stand.
I can't see a situation where I would ever lay my eyes on this again.
I'm sorry that I brought it forward to us, because I had realized that it existed and was like, shit, we want to watch the specials? Let's watch this special. I can't be totally confident, but I think other specials are better. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen most of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen as many as you, and I can say with confidence that a lot of them are better. I don't need to watch the rest of them to know that this one is low on the totem pole.
This one's pretty low on the totem pole. This is the most bona fide 2 out of 10 that I have ever come across in One Piece proper.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who won the fashion show?
I mean, I'm going to give it to either Nami or Sanji, I feel. I feel like they're the easy answers, but I really vibed with Sanji's fit in this. And Nami's always got that sweet drip. What about you?
The royal purple on Sanji, and it was like a black shirt with a skull pattern on it or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, pretty sweet. Sanji's always got outfits that are a little bit better, especially for the guys. Luffy, always uninspiring. Zoro, pretty much always uninspiring. Chopper, pretty much always uninspiring, but there's only so much you can do with this tiny little reindeer body. And also, they'll always put him in the cutesy little outfit rather than something that's actually interesting. Like, they just straight up gave him polka dot pajamas for this one. Chopper didn't even know that a fashion show was happening. He just rolled out of bed and they said, hey,
facts.
Oh, this is what you're wearing? Cool, get out there. And, that was it. This time, Usopp was rather uninspiring. There are times when Usopp's got some good fits, but this one, he just threw on a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah.
Like a lilac colored button up and called it a day. And he even introduces himself. He goes like, hey, I look good in everything. You're MC Usopp.
You're MC Usopp.
And I'm like, you do look decent in it, but that's mostly because you're not wearing an undershirt. So I just see your ripped abs underneath the shirt. So like, yeah, of course you look good.
You just look good, my man. All right, now we gotta fix the fit though. The fit's not it.
Yeah, let's spice it up a little bit, like you usually do. Let's get some of that color back in there. You do much better with when you get some color in there to accentuate the fact that you're the only one that still has melanin on this crew, and even that has been siphoned away from him slowly over time. Brooks' marching line fit was pretty cool. I like the baggy pants on him.
It was just a little too on the nose for me, I think. It's a little too on the nose.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a sucker for that royal blue sort of color too. And he was wearing baggy pants instead of straight leg pants, which I think was different enough to make me go, oh, okay. Like instead of something that's skinny jeans, he's got some volume to his clothing here. I respect it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mostly agree there. Like, I would put Brooke high up there, and then I wish Nami's skirt was Like the color on it was great. And then the boots combo with the sweater, but also like a sweater. Like it was definitely hot out there. Obviously, this is anime logic and we don't give a fuck, but like a sweater.
Yeah, dude, come on, like let her live her life.
No, I know that I'm making a very nonsensical argument, but the sweater, I'm like, God, she must be sweating up in there.
I mean, Sanji's in a full ass fucking suit, dog.
I know. And he always is, which I always think about. I think about how fucking hot he must always be.
I think about that a lot.
Not physically hot, but like he's sweating. He runs at 100 degrees all the time. It was a little funny too. I'm thinking back, just rewinding some of the movie at least to scrape something out of it. The part where Luffy rolls up on Diego, old wax grandpa, that's his name for the audience. Diego stall for the first time. He was just munching on some fruit, and Diego is looking at him incredulously, like, "Are you just fucking eating my fruit out of the front of my stall?" And Luffy's like, yeah.
Yes.
It kind of tastes shitty, but yeah. And he's like, "Well, of course, it's wax."
いただきます。マジ？なんだこれ？
That part was a little funny.
That was a good bit too. Oh, shout out to that bit. That's always a good bit.
Yeah, it's a shame that Kobe and Helmeppo are used so uninterestingly in this, especially if it's their first outing. If anyone actually watched this before they watched Film Z, I'm so sorry.
They didn't exactly have like great presence in Film Z either, though. I think the only scene they were in was when Garp and Sengoku were like describing Z, and then like Kobe and Helmeppo were just there hanging out with Garp as Garp is like just, you know, telling them about Z. Like they don't do anything. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's cool that we got to see their like post-time skip designs and all that, but like for context, their actual manga debut post-time skip was just after Whole Cake Island when Luffy got his big boy bounty.
Wow, so we've seen him a couple of times uncanonically.
Correct.
I didn't realize that. I guess that tracks. Wasn't he in like post-arc stuff before Whole Cake too? No?
Nah, dude. I'm telling you. It was after Whole Cake.
Really? Not after Dressrosa?
I promise you. 0 after Dressrosa.
Huh. It is all straight non-canon. Damn, okay.
Crazy, isn't it?
They just couldn't wait to show us our boy.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
The animators over at Toei and whoever else animated these specials and movies were like, man, we can't believe Oda waited that long to show off the Kobe and his glow-up post-time skip. You know what? Wait, if you want something done right, you do it yourself.
Do it yourself. That's what I'm saying.
And then they put him in all these fucking movies and have him do next to nothing in them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had a little bit of a part in Stampede.
Yeah, like a little more than Z.
At least he was like actually like coordinating something.
Yeah.
It's all right, man. He gets his time to shine.
They put everyone and their mother in Stampede, though. So, like, really, where's the line?
They did do that. And I love Stampede for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Stampede's very well off for that. I'm totally cool with it. I don't say that to be a knock on the movie. I enjoy Stampede. Stampede's a top 3 movie for me, I think.
Hell yeah. This special, however, not a top special.
Maybe even a bottom 3.
This is definitely one of my bottom 3. I think beyond a shadow of a doubt. Because, you know, like this movie could have done better. It'd be the same special, but if the Marine guy was not a Marine but a pirate, at least it would have been like a little bit more normal for me, I think. I think the fact that they just made a very clear asshole out of a Marine guy, I'm just like, brothers, sisters, my non-binary pals, what are we doing? You have an opportunity when you make your antagonist be a Marine. You don't need to rely on them just being an objective bad person. Make them obscure. Give them a little bit of ambiguity. Do something. Don't just make Wapple, but slap the Marine logo on them. I mean, for fuck's sakes. We literally hate Wapple.
Yeah, and he really was just kind of a Wapple-esque character, wasn't he, huh?
Golly, dude.
He just sucks the whole way through. Uninteresting, doesn't do anything fun, has no devil fruit even to make things more interesting. He's just a fucking asshole.
No devil fruit.
He even fucking took all the artisans. He is just Wapple 2.0.
He's literally
He
Wapple
took all
2.0.
the artisans off the fucking island and used them for his own devices. God damn it.
This is a bottom 3 movie for sure for me. This, I don't know if this takes the cake. I'm gonna have to like do some soul searching and re-remember how much I dislike some of the older movies, because I do remember the Chopper one being really straight fucking garbage. But I think this might clear the Chopper movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and like really think about like a list of all of the previous ones we watched and sort that out for myself, because I think that it's easily bottom 5. Bottom 3, there may be some contenders outside of the one I mentioned before.
Nah, I think Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt is bottom 3 for sure. Easiest fucking choice of my life. Sorry, listeners, by the way, if you came here, expecting your ragtag group of guys who are just like, man, I fucking love One Piece. One Piece is so good. Guys, sometimes you just gotta call a spade a spade. You really do. It's for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, the really unfortunate thing is that this feels like One Piece still too, with the dumb shenanigans to it.
It does.
And the way that the characters act, and Luffy is all about getting justice for Diego and his son, Regis, and all of this. It feels like the One Piece at its core, this is One Piece. It's just the most boring version of it that they possibly could have imagined.
It is the One Piece formula with none of the intrigue. They always have the formula for One Piece on the whiteboard in their offices, right? But they always say, okay, but we need to make sure we branch off in these specific areas so that we can disguise it as a different story every time we retell it. Well, they didn't do that today. They took the formula and they pressed Control-C, Control-V, and they said, that's how we make anime today.
Here's how bored they were making their own movie. The main antagonist, this dude Billick, who wears black face paint on half of his face. He has this very, like, I don't know, we'll call it Phantom of the Opera.
I love that you said it that way, too. That makes him so much more yikes.
Yeah. He wears straight black face paint on half of his face. His face is divided between his normal face and black face paint. And so is, like, his outfit. It's half yellow and half black, and so is his stupid hat. And then he has this snake puppet that he wears on his right hand, and it coils around, and he pretends to talk through it sometimes. It's his alter ego, whatever. It's like it's almost a 2 on the nose Jekyll and Hyde sort of thing, except without any of the mystery about which side he's talking through, if he's currently in Jekyll or Hyde mode. Anyway, he's a slut for cannons, loves firepower, has the artisans of the island build a giant fucking cannon. We destroy that eventually because we have to save the island, right? Great. He's got a backup project, which is a smaller cannon that works on a wire system. And either him or the thing itself has such fast reaction speed that it moves. He can react to punches from Luffy in second gear.
Crazy.
Fucking ridiculous, I know. But keep following me because it gets worse. Cannons, remember? Main weapon, cannon. This guy has nothing else about him. He has no devil fruit, nothing. He just likes cannons. They decided that, and we're all familiar with Luffy, the rubber man, being impervious to cannons. Since day one, this is like one of the first things you learn about him and his devil fruit is that he's impervious to bludgeoning damage through cannons, especially. They were so uninspired in this movie that they were going to make cannons hurt him.
Yes.
They put a fuse on the cannonballs so that they explode when they hit Luffy, and so they do explosion damage, and it's not just bludgeoning damage. That's it. That's how they decided to introduce conflict or trials and tribulations for Luffy in this. They put a fuse on the cannonballs.
Ah, man, dude, what a choice to make this movie.
And they made it last like 10 minutes, by the way.
That was like a 10 to 15 minute sequence, which is kind of wild.
The last fight is 10 to 15 minutes against this guy, and it's fucking bullshit. There's no rhyme or reason that Luffy should be struggling against this. This guy should have been a literal one punch and done. We should have been in and out of here in 30 seconds.
They like tried to make him a heavy hitter villain in the fourth quarter, and literally nobody believed for a second that this guy was going to be worth a shit.
Yeah, there was no reason they should have fought this hard to make him a villain worth spending more than 30 seconds on. Just straight up. I found the silver linings that I wanted out of this movie with some of the funny gags. This is the part where I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm done. I'm putting that part away and just straight up shitting on the movie because this is dumb. Like, this is stupid, and it was a waste of time. No possible way that this should have been happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, Christian, unfortunately, I think I'm good. I think I'm fine. That's all I need to say about this.
Yeah, I feel real good.
I'm glad you feel good. Listeners, I hope you feel good, but if you don't, I don't know, get over it. Anyway, next week is going to be Adventures of Nebulandia, which I do remember watching, and I remember it being a kind of decent one, actually. So I really hope that I come back next week and don't have the same criticisms. Imagine that.
That would be wild if this was just another stinker and you just have to eat all your words.
We shall see. Anyway, moving on to quotes. Well, Christian, you took my only quote this evening. So I'm just going to remind everybody at home, when the Straw Hats get away from the Navy base and Zoro is left on the island and they're all like, wait, what happened to Zoro? And then camera cuts to Zoro and Zoro's just like, hey.
What?
Yeah.
That was my quote, baby. Cut to credits.
I got 2 more quotes. The first is when everyone gets off of the boat onto Hand Island and they're just walking through the jungle there. Luffy and Usopp go swinging by on a bunch of vines, which, by the way, missed golden opportunity to reuse Usopp from a long time ago. Was that Skypiea?
That was Skypiea, and it was Zoro, my friend.
No, it was Usopp.
Are you really going to challenge me on this? I promise you beyond a shadow of a doubt. Zoro is the one that clears his throat and goes, oh.
I think he does that after Usopp.
No, incorrect. Usopp, at the time, he's with Luffy and Sanji as they're taking a separate boat through to Upper Yard after dealing with Konus and stuff.
Maybe I'm wrong about what arc it's from, but I know that there is a moment where Usopp goes Tarzan mode, and I remember the phrase Usopp, I like as clear as day. So I don't know what it is, but
there might be a point where Usopp do go Tarzan mode, but the one that everyone remembers is Zoro. But I'll give you that. I can't. I will parse my brain for all the other instances that could be Usopp going Tarzan mode.
Usopp? Yeah! It works!
I didn't even say the quote. Not as they walk by, Nami goes, "Just ignore the apes," as Luffy and Usopp swing by on the vines, and I did that. That made me chuckle because they're just fucking around, and she wants nothing to do with it.
猿はほっときましょう。
Oh, is that what they said? I read it and I was like, I didn't get it. Now it makes sense. Now I understand.
Yeah, she goes, "Just ignore the apes," because Luffy and Usopp just swang by.
Got it.
Then before I started skipping on Luffy's backstory, there was a point where they're in Makino's bar and Luffy goes up to grab some food. Makino asks if he wants something to eat, and he goes, or maybe Shanks does. He goes, "Thanks, I eat on credit."
He does say that.
And Shanks is like, "Do you? How are you going to pay back?" And he's like, "I'm going to King of the Pirates and all that. Yeah, I owe you." But otherwise, that's it. That's all my quotes.
ルフィ、あなたも何か食べてく？あ、じゃあ宝払いで食う。
出たな、宝払い。お前、そりゃ詐欺だぜ。
違う。ちゃんと俺は海賊になって宝を見つけたら金を払いに来るんだ。しししし。
All right, fantastic. Moving on to the Golden Ham. Well, I really only have one contender.
Go on.
Tiny Whitebeard by a mile. The strongest wax that has ever been made on the planet. It can withstand the cannonball. It couldn't withstand that match, which, RIP my boy, I'll be honest. But it's still the GOAT of this entire special for sure.
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm totally on board with this. I didn't know who I was going to come in here and vote for, but I knew it wasn't going to be any real character, so...
Same, brother. All right, Tiny Whitebeard it is. Tiny Wax Whitebeard.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying for whoever goes and picks out the thumbnail for the release. All right.
That was easy. All right, moving on to fan mail. I do have some fan mail this week.
Hell yeah.
Are you ready, Christian?
Oh, I'm so ready. I love fan mail.
This writer wishes to be anonymous, but this is not the first time they've given us mail because they said, it's me again. The message reads as follows. Hi. Thought you might want some fan mail. Been sad because I previously got stuck in One Piece because none of my streaming services had anything beyond Dressrosa. I had been using you to catch up with the show and thoroughly enjoyed the experience, but now I finally have Crunchyroll and can continue. My question is, One Piece related, of all the non-human races in One Piece, mink, fishman, Skypian, centaur, alien, cyborg, mermaid, which would you want to be in real life?
I love that alien is just thrown in there. Like, we know alien exists, but like we haven't really seen them.
To be fair, space pirates exist. Like they're there, so there are aliens. I don't know what else to tell you.
I mean, that's true.
She. You know, I feel like you get the best of everything if you're a mermaid, right?
Do you?
Like you get to like be basically a person. You just like have tail fin, and also they turn into regular ass legs whenever you need.
Don't some of them not have the ability to do this?
I think as they get older, they can switch between them.
Like the royal family goes around on floaty bubbles, you know, in Mary Joie.
Nah, I think that's a personal choice. I think it's just a personal choice.
I don't know about that.
Well, I guess maybe that's true. I don't know, man. I mean, because I remember Kokoro saying that like as once you cross like a certain threshold in age, you could just like casually start using legs. And I'm like, brother, you basically get to be us, but also get to breathe underwater and swim everywhere. Like, that sounds fantastic. I don't know. Even with the debuff of having a tail fin, I still think I pick mermaid. I'll just live in a wheelchair.
I'll take floaty bubble thing.
Totally fine. Although, wait, no, Skypian, though. Now I think about it again. You know, Skypian, what, they just have wings. Like, that's it. That's it. You just... Maybe they work, too.
Was Skypian on this list?
Yeah, Skypian was on this. I'll tell you again. Mink, fishman, Skypian, centaur, alien, cyborg, and mermaid.
Oh, what? I don't... Skypians are humanoids, though. Like, why aren't we then including, like, the long arm and the long neck and the long leg tribes?
We can. No, this list is including but not limited to.
Non-comprehensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not that I would choose them, but...
Yeah, I don't know if I want the extra joint in my arm. I mean, I don't have, like, a disdain for them like you and Devin do, but I don't know if I want double elbow.
You know, I think my choice would probably be mink. I like the lightning hands.
I mean, minks are cool. Lightning hands are cool, too, actually. That's a good point.
I like built-in lightning hands, no matter who or what animal you are.
You come stock with lightning palms.
Yeah, I got built-in tasers, dude. That's kind of sick.
That is pretty sick.
Anyone's pissing me off, just give them a zap. And then you have werewolf mode, potentially, which is a little bit, that one's a little yikes. Just don't go out on full moons, though, or wear sunglasses everywhere.
I mean, I do agree with the logic. I think mermaid still clears. I don't know. I'm sticking with mermaid.
You're too attached to your humanness, Brendan. You got to let go.
No, I can't. I refuse. I want to maintain as much as I can.
Nah, dude, you got to free yourself. Be fishman. Go full hog.
Dude, I thought about it, but then I'm like, brother, there are a lot of weird looking fishmen.
But you can get some humanoid looking fishmen too. You know, Otahime was basically a human.
You can, but like, she was a mermaid.
Was she a mermaid? I thought she walked. Am I wrong about that?
That's what I'm saying. She's a goldfish mermaid.
Right. I stand corrected. I thought she was like regular fishman.
Nah.
Well, either way, the prince, the one prince, the oldest prince is still like fairly humanoid looking. He's mermaid, obviously, but
yeah, Fukaboshi.
Yeah, you can parse it out. There's some humanoid looking fishmen. Anyway, my point still stands. You're too attached to maintaining your human form. I'm going mink. Give me the lightning hands. I almost don't even care what animal I end up as. I'd prefer something, you know, that is I don't know, has like a fur coat or something to that extent, just so I can get around and have like a cool pattern or something like that. I don't want to be like an elephant or anything, you know, like a moose or something. Give me something with a lot of fur. Make me a honey badger mink.
Yeah, honey badger mink. Okay.
Yeah, give me some big ass claws and make them electrified and a thick ass hide.
You're a better man than I. No, I'm sticking with mermaid. I want to maintain at least 50% humanoid in case I don't like it.
All right. Well, thank you for the email, listener. We love you for that.
Oh wait, hold on. There's more. There's a little bit more.
I apologize.
It also says, P.S. What are you wearing?
God damn it.
I mean, you have to answer. I mean, come on. I can't just leave it there. It's sitting right in front of me.
No, of course. I mean, I'm going to answer. I've got a light blue t-shirt, oversized t-shirt on, and black basketball shorts. And if this question had come my way in the beginning of the episode of this recording, then I would have also technically been wearing a heating pad because I got a little ouchie on my knee.
Ooh.
But otherwise, I'm that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm wearing a t-shirt that's Zelda themed and some jeans today. Jeans? Yeah, jeans. I wear jeans like pretty much every day.
I mean, that's fine, but like you got home from work and didn't change into something slightly more comfortable?
Why does everyone think that that's weird? I think jeans are super comfortable. This is crazy to me. You are not the first person to question that response. Yes, I did that, and I would do it again, and I'll do it tomorrow too.
Clearly, you do it all the time.
Correct.
I'm not saying jeans can't be comfortable. I just recently rediscovered this for the first time in a long time. I disliked jeans strongly for a long time, and then got a new pair, and I'm like, oh, I dig jeans now. But I don't. If I like get home from something or being out or from work, I'm changing into sweats or shorts or something after that.
I mean, I'm not saying I'll never wear sweats or shorts. I just like jeans are still comfy. You know what I don't want to do? I don't want to like flip flop my outfit all fucking day. That's what I want to avoid. I want to change my clothes once. That's it. In the morning when I get done with my pajamas and I have to go to work, I don't want to come home just to go back into pajamas. The only other time to change is when I go to bed. Very
oddly efficient of you. That's like I don't know. That strikes me as a weird thing to decide to be efficient about in your life. But if it makes you happy, then I'm happy for you.
Listen, man, the number of times that I've needed to be ready to go back out after thinking that I was done for the day is not zero.
It is also not zero for me too. But this feels like it happens far more often to you, which I guess, if that is the case, then it dictates the reason you do this, and that's fine, I guess. It just makes me, it just surprises me that this is the case.
That's all I'm saying, man.
I know exactly one other person that's like this.
And
I've said as much to them too.
I bet we're both sociopaths. Anyway, thank you for the fan mail, and thank you for the question. We love old memes and just new questions in general. But I really love when people ask what we're wearing. That's a fucking top shelf meme right there.
yeah, for sure. One of the oldest in the book for us.
All right, moving on to the Garb Gab. Christian, here, I have this bag. And I promise, I know what you're thinking. No, it is not filled with VHS tapes of the original Jeopardy hosted by, I forgot his fucking name. Who's the guy that died?
Can you remember? I'm envious. I'm like fascinated by the fact that you just, after all these years of Jeopardy and claiming that you have all the VHS tapes, you just are completely not remembering them. Well, all right. There was probably some intermission music there.
Yep, probably.
For anyone confused, I have to personally apologize. I don't know how it happened, but for what I think is maybe the first time in this recording, the podcast's history.
Podcast history.
I've somehow managed to stop my recording while we were recording, and luckily it happened pretty deep in. But if you're confused as to why we never found out organically for Brendan who Alex Trebek was, then that's why. It didn't go on for very long, nor did we talk about much after that. We just each individually told two stories.
And then you told a story about a floppy disk, right?
Yeah. So there's probably some kids out there that didn't know that streaming didn't always exist. And if you missed it when it first aired on TV, you're shit out of luck. Unless you were a smart kid like Brendan and had some programmable VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
That then reminded me, because I was astounded that he could only fit one episode on a VHS tape, which meant he had some super old ones. It reminded me of a story from work. I had to go through some old records for stuff once upon a time, and they were all on floppy disks. There's a bunch of 3.5s and a bunch of 5.5s, and I quizzed Brendan quickly. I tried to see if he could guess what the highest memory count capacity was on the floppy disks, and he was close. His knowledge of Nintendo memory storage cartridges was helping him out a little bit, but he still shot too high.
Invaluable.
Your guess was what, like 20 or something megs?
Yeah, I said 22.
Yeah, 22 megs was the guess. Turns out that the highest I was able to end up procuring was a tenth of that. It was about 2.4 megs of storage capacity. The lowest one I found was 500 kilobytes, which is like, it's nothing.
Fucking nothing.
It's nothing by today's standard. You can go out and these days and buy a 128 gigabyte flash drive for the same price these floppy disks cost you back then. So,
oh, how far tech has come.
Yeah. Oh, how far the technology has come. So that being said, let's finally move on to the Garb Gab here.
Yup. And go ahead, please.
I'm gonna continue reaching on in here. Thankful that it's not just VHS copies of Jeopardy. And look what we got here. Oh, this is very nice, very whimsical. Just like some folded pieces of colored paper. Nothing too fancy.
That's right.
Oh, that's delightful. You working on some arts and crafts going on like recently?
Yeah, dude. I've been taking classes. I'm trying to, I've got new hobbies.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I hope to lay eyes on whatever it is that you whip up with all of this colored paper one day. That being said, I'm going to open it. Oh, it's even sparkly on the inside. Very nice, very nice. This says Valentine's Award. And this
well,
I don't think this one's that hard.
No, it's not. Come on, I mean, there's what can you say? What can you say?
Yeah,
it's Whitebeard this week. I'm just kidding. No, it's Peach.
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, how dare he go and die and leave this Hand Island unfended for?
No, it's Billig. It's Billig, whatever his fucking name is. I don't even remember his name is, but it's Billig.
You got it right. Unfortunately, you remember it. So my only contender for runner-up is the puppet snake, because I'm just severely disappointed it wasn't an actual talking snake.
I feel that, but Billig is still like the source of my frustration. So no, I need it to be Billig.
Yeah, that's still fine by me. I'm totally okay with that. We can give it a Billig.
All right, Spite wins again. Here's to Spite.
All right. Well, we did it. We made it to the end of another one. My only regret is that maybe I would have enjoyed seeing Justin weigh in on something here. I don't know. He'd probably have some hot take that he pulled out of his ass for some reason. Then we would have argued about it for 5 minutes, called him an animal. That would have been more fun.
Very possible. Very, very possible.
But alas, hopefully he'll be joining us for Nebulandia. Brendan thinks that one's going to be a hoot and a holler, so we'll see how that goes.
I can't wait to be wrong on that one next.
Dude, it'd be so fucking great if we just come back next time and this was also just as bad.
I don't know if it's good. I just think it's better. I hope it's better.
I'll take better, at least.
I think it's better.
Yeah, that would be good. But anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can do so on Instagram and TikTok. Check out the reels. We'll be making a little bit more of them as time goes on, and they're going to be fun and dandy. If you'd like to send us an email like our listener friend here did today, then you can do so at pandasightings@gmail.com. Send us your opinions on the movie. And if you would like to join a bunch of like-minded individuals, you can hop on over to our Discord, the link of which is in the link tree in our social bios, somewhere in the description of this podcast, probably. You can talk to a whole lot of other people. If you're caught up on the show, there's a channel for that. If you like being outdoorsy, there's a channel for that. If you like video games, music, entertainment of all kinds, there's channels for all that. You can do it. It's lovely. We have game nights. There was just, as of the recording of this episode, there was just one this past weekend. There's usually one once a month. There's movie nights. It's awesome. Come join it. We're in there from time to time talking to people. But our community members really keep the place going and jiving. It's awesome. If you'd like to support us monetarily in this time where we only have really one thing, you can do it on Redbubble, where we have a bunch of sticker designs and they're super cool. And that's pretty much always going to be a mainstay of something that you can obtain from us is these stickers, and they're very fun and fairly cheap. So you can always enjoy them whenever you want. And rate us 5 stars wherever. Leave comments on whatever platform you listen on to. We'll sometimes go through the more common ones and pick out some stuff, read them, re-comment back on Spotify, especially. I think Apple can do it too, but I'm not 100%. I don't own an Apple device. And yeah.
We did it.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
And if you're someone who's actually stuck around to the end of this episode, double shout out to you.
Double shout out to you. Night, everybody.
Good night.